want to get some coffee or something?
Can I get a cup of coffee? Black? Can't you see we talking? White?
Even little kids in Mexico drink coffee.
Well, I'm not a little kid in Mexico, okay?
That is the best coffee I've ever tasted.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
You want a cup of coffee?
No coffee.
Coffee drinker, huh?
Maybe we can grab some coffee?
Coffee, 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 coffee.
God damn, Jimmy. This is some serious gourmet shit. Me and Vincent would have been satisfied with some freeze-dried Taster's Choice, right? And he springs this serious gourmet shit on us.
Hello, and hello again to everyone out there. Well, I see everybody has returned for another thrilling Thursday with me and Das Wolfen and Martin. Morning coffee with Keith, otherwise known as Thrilling Thursdays with Keith, and friends. I gotta say, well, first let me begin on a down note. For those that haven't heard yet, award-winning composer and just all-around talented guy, Burt Baccarat has passed away. I gotta say, for those of you who may not recognize his name when you Google him, let me just say this. This was definitely a guy who was just talented. The man was amazing. He had a way with composing and writing music that was just catchy. And everybody really loved his stuff. As far as I'm concerned, he was definitely one of the great composers of the 20th century. I think sales-wise, I think the only people who outdid him was Lennon and McCartney. Because prior to the Beatles hitting, he was having hits. And he was having individual songs, and also he was in Hollywood making songs for them, having hits like The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. And but it's the stuff that it's just, there's just so much. There's too much to name. Seriously, there's way too much to name. And personally, I think if they haven't already lowered the flags in the state of Missouri, they should. He is definitely one of those people that his talent, I don't even think they have him in the rotunda. I don't even think they have him in the place of honor. I could be wrong. In the Capitol at St. Joseph. If they don't, they need to get on it now. But he was a proud Missourian from Kansas City. I know a lot of younger people know him as the guy who created some music and made a cameo appearance in Austin Powers. But if that's what you know, you're towards the end of the story. You need to go back to the beginning and check all those hits. All of those hits. Wow. Anyway, I know that's not exactly what you guys tuned in for, but yeah. So if you get a chance, listen to a song of his. Heck, listen to his greatest hits. I guarantee you'll at least know one of his songs. At least one of his songs. Okay? So, today. Go ahead, Mark.
When I was a kid, my mom was a fan of it, so I certainly heard enough.
Oh,
I most probably I don't recognize the name, but yeah, I'm sure if I start listening to him, memories are going to come back.
I think he wrote "Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head" for Butch Cassidy
Oh,
and the Sundance Kid, and
That sounds right.
yeah, and for me, I was a big fan of the movie Lost Horizon, and I read the book, and so I didn't know that he had become obsessed with that, and in the '70s remade it as a musical
oh,
and wrote all the songs and lyrics and with his songwriting partner. But yeah, oh yeah, D. Bud Martin, "The Look of Love," "Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head," Alfie, "Say a Little Prayer," "One Less Bell to Answer." There's so many hits, and again, he was one of the most talented people that if you had Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips, hi, yeah, just do yourself a solid today. Google him, Google his music, play one song, and trust me, just listen to it. Um, yeah. Anyway,
well, in a lighter note,
yeah.
I'd like to acknowledge that That's Wolfen has become a YouTube member.
Yeah, I've always been a YouTube member. It's just I had to switch payment things because just had to bounce stuff. Technically, I've been a member for 15 months.
Well, it's saying it here, but it doesn't show on a StreamYard. Just the first one. Okay.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at everybody that's come in today. First and foremost, hello to Penny. You're looking lovely today. Monkey Jeebus, also looking lovely today. D. Bud Martin, of course. Master Shadow Dragon, Dragon Ruse, Slasher Fred, and of course, as I had said before, Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips. It's, yeah. Oh, hold on. Slasher Fred said,
Oh, I'm sorry.
oh, I'm sorry. Another famous singer who recently died, Barrett Strong, who sang one of the versions of "Money, That's What I Want." Wow, you see, yeah, we're getting to that point. At least I am in my life where
Yeah.
a lot of known personalities are just going to start leaving, and wow, this is yeah, it's kind of weird,
Well,
sad today.
to change the subject off of death,
Yes,
I stepped
let's
away
do
from the
that.
camera because they just delivered this.
Wow. Well, we know what you're going to
Look
do.
at him.
Are you going to do that on your channel? And
No, I don't have. It's a
no.
Switch game, so I don't have any way to. I'd have to like buy a card and stuff.
Okay. Well, you know what? Let's get to the show today. Okay? So, today we're going to do the top 5 Star Trek media pros that have never worked on the series or films. Okay? One of the things that separated Star Trek and its numerous sequels uh, was the fact that you had a lot of very talented people, some of whom were known talent before they went to work on the show, that interacted with the show or found ways of influencing the show. And our number 5 person was someone who indirectly added something that became kind of something that you know, us Star Trek fans really enjoyed, especially if you grew up in the 70s. Lawrence Van Cott Niven, aka Larry Niven, Hugo, Locust, Ditmar, Nebula, and Inkpot award-winning American science fiction writer, who I had the pleasure of meeting many, many years ago. Nice gentleman, nice gentleman. Best known for his works, Ringworld and with Jerry Purnell and The Mote in God's Eye, Lucifer's Hammer, which, again, great books that could easily be turned into some really, really cool films. Just saying. He is also the creator of the Kazenti. Okay? This is a race that he had created that was the inspiration for the Catans, as seen in Star Trek, the animated series. The kind of cat-like creatures that they had.
I thought it was Cation.
Cations?
Cait K.
Oh yeah, you know, you're right again. Look at you. And then as well as the Zenti, the name the Zenti that was used in Enterprise. Larry Niven's original name was the inspiration for them naming those creatures. Now, Larry Niven was one of those people whose work was very inspiring even to some of the people that went to work on Star Trek. He had inspired Star Trek, and again, for those not understanding for whatever reason what I'm actually talking about, when I say Star Trek, I mean Star Trek. There's only one Star Trek, and that's the 1966 to 69 series. And I'm not trying to be elitist about it. That is actually a legal fact. Okay? It's the reason why all the other sequels have to use additional names. After the colon, those two dots, one right above the other, that's known as a colon. You have to use a colon to be able to distinguish the name of anything that you create after, because legally there is only one Star Trek according to the Writers Guild of America. So that's what I'm using. One Star Trek. So Larry Niven was someone who was able to inspire quite a few people, and especially people that worked on the series Star Trek. He was is.
Yeah, we still have him.
Yeah, he's still around. I didn't mean to try to kill him off early. But he is the 2015 recipient of the Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers of America, the Damon Knight Memorial Grandmaster Award. His work is pretty much hard science fiction, okay? Hard science fiction would be closer to what you would see in something like, say, The Expanse, okay? Or a little closer to even something like, say, the Tom Cruise film Edge of Tomorrow. That's a little closer to what hard science fiction is. Although a lot of military science fiction is also called military science fiction, but it's also hard science fiction. Basically using big science concepts, theoretical physics. Hard science fiction also includes elements of detective fiction and adventure stories. The other thing about Larry Niven is that he also was very good. He also is very good at writing fantasy. So he's one of those people that plays both sides and is good, really good at it. A lot more of his work should be read and experienced. Again, Hollywood looking around, acting like there's There's nothing to do out there. It's because a lot of those people nowadays just don't read. And I think you could definitely say that Mr. Niven is one of those people that helped to not only inspire Star Trek, but inspired several other people, several other television shows. But in order to get a lot of that, you at least have to be familiar with his work. And so I would highly, highly recommend that you Google him, Google his bibliography, and check out some of his books. Check out some of his work. What do you guys think?
Yep. He's definitely one of the premier names in hard science fiction.
Well,
And,
well, also the other thing is that you know, he's an Inkpot Award winner, and look, all of these awards really do mean something. It's not that easy to win these awards, and you also have to have an understanding of what these awards mean and the people that have won them, some of them, being very difficult to win. The Inkpot Award. Oh, go ahead.
the awards before 2014, because after 2014, it started being checkbox awards.
Yeah, there's been some stuff. Yeah. Well, let me explain what the Inkpot Award is. It's an award for professionals in the fields of comic books, comic strips, animation, science fiction, and related areas of pop culture. Some of the people that have won it in the past, Forrest J. Ackerman, Ray Bradbury, Kirk Allen, the very first Superman, Frank Capra, Bob Clampett, Chuck Jones, Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, Charles Schultz, the guy behind Peanuts, B. Joe Trimble, Roy Thomas, Robert Bloch, Edgar Rice Burroughs, that was posthumously because he had already passed away by then, Robert Heinlein, Joe Kubert, Harvey Kurtzman, George Lucas, Jay Ward, Lin Wen, Gene Colan, Chester Gould, John Buscema, Lester Dent. That's another guy who won it posthumously. It's the guy behind the Doc Savage books.
Yep.
Howard Chaykin. It's a very distinguished group of people, and I think if I remember correctly, Kevin Feige even won one. I know Mark Hamill has one. You really have to be someone of note to get it. And it's just one of those awards that when you do receive it, it's definitely going in a place of honor. And yeah, it's whew. Anyway, I think one of the recent award winners for 2022 was Phil Lamar.
Yep.
So, but wow, a lot of people, long time. Man,
Unfortunately, they also gave one to Dan Slott.
Yeah, I know. Hey, but look at it this way: Eric Larson, Joe Jutzko, Robert Kirkman, and Arnold Schwarzenegger all got one. And
Yeah, but they gave one to Liefeld too.
Liefeld's not that bad.
Okay,
Liefeld's not that bad. Look,
you just can't draw feet.
You are just never going to let that go, are you?
Nope.
I like Rob Liefeld personally. I think he's a cool dude. And Mark Wade, And, of course, the main man himself, in my opinion, the best stepdaddy he's ever had, and I'm talking about Batman, Michael E. Uslan. Got one. So, wow.
Well,
This is
Peter David's got one.
a lot of people have them, and considering how long some have had to wait to get one, heck, they even gave one to Kevin Smith
Yeah, they did.
and Mark Bernardin and Sam Raimi,
Yeah, I'm looking at the list. Sorry.
Graham Nolan. Wow, R.L. Stein got one. Jeff Loeb got one. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, yes. So for Star Trek, it may seem kind of minor what Larry Niven was able to give us, but excuse me. But you also have to understand, in the 1970s, especially around the time of Star Trek: The Animated Series, that's when we all met Lieutenant Imriss. Imriss. Man, I'm having trouble saying names today. But I was one of those characters that, while technically she wasn't on the regular series, is officially a part of canon as far as being a part of the crew, because she was in Star Trek: The Animated Series.
Yep.
And so, again, having someone like Larry Niven to be able to contribute to something like Star Trek overall just improves everything. And, it's entertaining and it's fun. Anything else you guys want to add?
No, it's just these. You got to remember, back in the 70s, 60s, and 70s, they didn't have the media access we have today.
Yeah.
There's just basically books and television and movies. But there wasn't, you didn't have the internet where you got stories and, had people doing YouTube channels and stuff like that. It was all analog, shall we say. So there wasn't the ability to influence things as quickly as they are. So back then, if you won an Inkpot Award, you were somebody.
Yeah.
And it's, especially winning a Hugo and Nebula and, all the other awards he won. Plus it isn't just isn't just Star Trek influence. He influenced science fiction as a whole.
Mm-hmm. And fantasy.
Yes, and fantasy.
There's very few people that have been able to successfully walk that line between the two. And make a career of it. So you have to respect that about the man and his work. But you know what? First of all, hello to Dork Knight. Hey, man. Let's see. And wow, Slasher Fred.
Slasher Fred has two comments that I really liked.
YouTube, The Final Frontier. These are the Voyager's pop culture minefield. Its topic: discuss the 5 Star Trek series that were never made to boldly go where no one has gone before. Well, yeah, that would be an interesting topic for an upcoming show.
And this one.
There's the episode where Frank Gorshin guest starred playing a guy who has a black and white, and which is ironic because the original Star Trek came out the same year that Batman did. True, but the thing was that Star Trek had a very different idea in mind as a series, whereas you know, the Batman series was a little different. First of all, it was based on Batman comics that were almost 10 years out of date compared to when they were making the show. The Batman series is based on the Batman comics of the 1950s. So for all you newer fans haven't figured that out yet, if you go out and you just go ahead and buy and look at all of the Batman comics from the 1950s, you'll notice there's a weird correlation between both the series and those comics.
Yeah.
How outrageous they are, how colorful they are, and the bam, bap, and boo. That is all from that era. By the 1960s, and literally by 1960, the books, the comics were completely different than that. And the television series Batman almost ended Batman as a comic book character from DC. It about killed the sales of the comics. It was so different. So, man, I'm just full of good news today. So, let's see. Let's go with the next person on the list. We're going to go to number 4 on our list today. And for that one, we will be talking about James Benjamin Blish. Hugo and Nebula Award-winning science fiction and fantasy writer. Best known for his Cities in Flight novels and his series of Star Trek novelizations, written with his wife, J.A. Lawrence. Now, Blish was also a literary criticism or critic of science fiction, using the pen name William Atherling Jr. His other pen names included Donald Laverty, John McDougall, and Arthur Lloyd Berlin. The British Science Fiction Foundation inaugurated the James Blish Award for Science Fiction Criticism in 1977, recognizing Brian W. Aldiss. The Science Fiction and Fantasy Hall of Fame inducted him in 2002. You can find the Science Fiction and Science Fiction Hall of Fame, which is now located near the Space Needle at Mopop in downtown Seattle, Washington, which I was lucky enough to go there and see what they had. Fantastic. If you ever get a chance to go to Seattle, visit that, highly recommend it.
And that would be the only reason I go to Seattle.
There are many other reasons to go. Seattle's a really cool place to hang out. But what is it that you have against Seattle, John?
No, I just don't like I guess it's the people.
It is a different kind of area than here. No comment. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't want to say anything that would alienate people, so
understandable. Look, again, for anybody growing up, especially in the 1970s, James Bliss's novelizations of Star Trek episodes required reading. I think everybody read those things. If you were a Star Trek fan, you read those things. And you got to remember, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have cell phones to be able to watch stuff between classes or whatever we were doing. So if you actually wanted to go back and watch an episode, you had to pick up one of those books. Either one of the James Blish novels or one of the photo books, which are just basically like photographic comic books, basically, where you just take pictures from an episode and you put in the word balloons and you put in the dialogue, and people sold those too. But that's how popular Star Trek was. I mean, you really do not see that with all of the stuff that passes for Star Trek today. You don't see that kind of reaction at all.
There's also the records.
Oh, geez, yes, yes. Oh, just, that's, thank you for reminding me of that. Um, you know what? Oh, hello, Gap After Dark. I may have to, yeah, I know, I'm a little radioactive today, Gap. Uh,
I,
I
I
may
would
have to.
rather I would rather say that you're part of the Green Lantern Corps for today.
Yes, I am. Again, uh, gold star for whoever can go out and find all of the original oaths that they had originally made for all the other Green Lanterns prior to deciding just to use the one that was created for Hal Jordan. Because, in Brightest Day and Blackest Night, that was written just for Hal Jordan. So, all of the Green Lanterns actually had their own oaths. And all the ones from Sector 2814, i.e., Earth, had their own individual oaths. So if you can actually find and bring that here to this show before we get off the air today, you win today's gold star. Anyway, yeah, James Blish for me uh, was a guy who really helped me to appreciate Star Trek. The Blish novels that he and his wife put together, I should say, helped me to appreciate Star Trek even more. It helped Star Trek take that leap from just being a television show and, in a way, giving it the kind of legitimacy that many science fiction writers and authors didn't really bestow upon it when Star Trek originally premiered. The harshest critics of Star Trek were some of the biggest writers in science fiction and fantasy. I mean, a lot of them really did not like that show, you know. So, what do you guys think?
James Delicious, yeah. I'm kind of surprised he didn't actually work on any scripts or anything.
Nope,
That kind of surprises me.
Yeah, he didn't do. He never officially worked on any of the shows or any of the films, but he did do novelizations of actual episodes.
Yeah.
So that still fits. But yeah, I was surprised when researching this because I would have thought he would have done something. So, Martin? Oh, he's gone. Okay. So let's look at the chat here. Slasher Fred. I think Star Trek was the first series to include an interracial kiss. Yes.
Yep.
Let's see. Gap After Dark. When you go to Seattle, you're going into the danger zone of a sort. Let's see. And Monkey Jesus, of course. You're okay. That's great. That's Hal Jordan's.
Yeah, now get everybody else's.
Yeah. You should look. You're very good at finding stuff. See if you can come up with the one that Jon Stewart had.
Oh, give me a second.
I've tried to do that before. I've tried to go online and couldn't do it. Now, let's see. There was once a comic magazine called Weird Science. It was created by EC Comics. Yes. There's a lot of different comic magazines or what were just magazines that sort of collected short stories that were submitted. Sometimes by some of the biggest names out there. 1930s and 40s and 50s especially, and you still have these types of magazines and stuff printed today. But I mean, at its height, there were a lot of people that just were so creative that they kept coming out with things. When you, for those of you who, like me, are big fans of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, The episode Far Beyond the Stars is about characters who work for a magazine just like EC. John.
Alan Scott's, and I shall shed my light over dark evil, for the dark things cannot stand the light of the Green Lantern.
Very good, John. Now, for an extra gold star, you found one of Alan Scott's.
Yeah.
Alan Scott has, I think, 3 more.
Well, that was his original.
That was his. Well, it kept changing. That was the thing. They kept changing it. So you found one of his. So.
Oh, take a look at this from Dark Knight.
Oh, Keaton is completely out now.
The Flash.
Oh, jeez. Okay, well, Dark Knight dropping some breaking news. But first,
I found my favorite, Jack T. Chance's.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. You're her wicked, evil, and mean. I'm the nastiest creep you've ever seen. Come one, come all, put up a fight. I'll pound your butts with Green Lantern light.
Oh my goodness.
That's good. Morning Coffee with Keith, powered by Fuel Up. Fuel Up. There's nothing like it. I gotta say, since I started drinking Fuel Up, wow. It's the kind of drink that definitely, if you're needing something to really start your day, Fuel Up is the way to go. And I just want to tell everybody from Fuel Up, thank you, because that's the kind of boost I need. Let's see. And don't forget to check out the link that we have.
Oh, let me show this to our audience. How beautiful that graphic is.
Wow. I appreciate it. Statements made on this program have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Just to make you feel good. You know. Like those of us that actually couldn't get enough coffee in the morning, you know. Fuel Up slightly better for you. Okay. Let's see. A lot of the cast from Star Trek had originally appeared on the original Twilight Zone. George Takei had appeared in the episode The Encounter that was originally unaired because it dealt with racism. Yep. Yes, it did. I think Shatner he has been in 2 episodes of Twilight Zone. And I think Nimoy was in 1, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time. Way longer than it should be. Let's see. Yeah, Monkey Jeebus has something to offer. Dork, unless you hear it from Variety, Hollywood Reporter, or Gunn himself, don't believe it. There is that. You could be getting upset for nothing, Dork Knight. So, remember that. Retro Nerd Girl! Yes! It's always a good morning when you're here. It's great seeing you. We're going to have to get you on with us sometime. Seriously. Have some female energy. Balance this out. No, because we can't all continue to just just aim everything out there. I think having some nerd ladies on the show that's always a good thing.
Yep.
Anyway, so it looks like we're going to go to the next name on the list. And that name is Isaac Asimov. Now, Isaac Asimov was a Hugo, Nebula, Locus award-winning writer. But he was
Pretty
also
much every award.
pretty much, yeah. He was also a professor of biochemistry at Boston University. During his lifetime, Asimov was considered one of the big three, which was really science fiction writers had their big three, which was Robert A. Hyland, Arthur C. Clarke, and of course Asimov. Asimov was very prolific. Of course, he had to be, writing a lot of papers and everything. And he wrote or edited more than 500 books. Asimov was inducted into the Science Fiction and Fantasy Hall of Fame in 1997. Here's a little quote here that I need to read from Asimov himself. There are other science fiction shows, no names please, in which it is quite clear that the writers and producer know nothing about science and don't care, and that shows too. And it is impossible to be a self-respecting viewer and accept it. Isaac Asimov, scientist and science fiction author, on the redeeming qualities of Star Trek in contrast to its contemporary television counterparts. He said that in 1976. Asimov was one of those who did not start out as a fan of Star Trek. Asimov met Roddenberry at a convention in Cleveland sometime around 1963-64. And he got a chance to watch the pilot and didn't initially think very much of it. But he and Roddenberry talked. Asimov seemed to enjoy what Roddenberry had to say and explaining how hard it is to be able to, first of all, correspond with scientists to try to get it as close as possible and still adhere to everything that you need to in order to create a weekly television series. So from that period on, Asimov became one of the biggest supporters of Star Trek. In fact, Asimov and Roddenberry became such good friends, corresponding over the years. The two of them jumped in early to become spokesmen for what would eventually become the Sci-Fi Channel. Unfortunately, Asimov never really worked on any of the television shows or films. So that's most unfortunate. What do you guys think?
Yeah, probably one of the most influential science fiction authors ever. So it's not surprised that there's a correlation between that and Star Trek. Oh, Keith's doing whiteface again.
I'm doing Star Gary.
But yeah, so I mean, I can see how him and Roddenberry would become friends.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, Roddenberry, I think, was one of those people that he had grown up as a major fan of science fiction. To be able to have one of the big three be a fan of something you were creating. And again, I can't think of any other science fiction television shows in the 60s prior to Star Trek that got the kind of reaction and really got the attention of any member of the big three to even come out and be a pseudo spokesman for that endeavor, at that time.
By the big three, I assume you mean Asimov, Clark, and Bradbury.
No. By the big three, I was meaning Clark, Asimov, and Heinlein.
Heinlein, okay.
You should know that. Coming from
Well,
I've
yeah, I know, but I've also heard Clark, Asimov, and Bradbury as the big three.
Well, if you're talking about science fiction and fantasy, yes.
Okay.
Because that's what fits. But from science fiction, solely science fiction.
Yeah,
those are
Heinlein
your
would be a
names.
better fit than Bradbury, that's for sure.
Yeah. So,
because Heinlein's kind of the father of modern military sci-fi.
mm-hmm.
And they all wrote hard science fiction to some degree or another.
Yeah. Again, Asimov, someone who was actually inducted into the Science Fiction and Fantasy Hall of Fame. You can visit and see certain things related to him at Mopop, downtown Seattle. So, again, we have reached, I think overall, to this point, and I know I keep hammering this home, but I'm doing this for a specific reason. You really do not see this kind of reaction in a positive way to anything that currently and legally calls itself Star Trek today. You just don't.
Nope.
That doesn't necessarily make it the worst stuff in the world. Okay? And again, let me say for the record, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, if it weren't Star Trek, would probably be even more popular than it is right now. But it being Star Trek, there are a few problems. That doesn't make it a bad show, but it doesn't necessarily fit easily as something that could be considered a part of the same storyline that we've been experiencing with Kirk and his crew and all of the shows that are sequels after. I just think that forgot about that one. I just that overall, we can. I think we should expect and demand more from our television shows. And when it comes to Star Trek, we should expect and demand a little more fealty to what has come before. I know that it doesn't really. I know that the people making Star Trek today have tried to kind of get past with this whole "they won't let us" thing.
Yeah.
The thing is that CBS owns everything. And CBS are the ones that actually hold the rights to Star Trek. CBS were the ones that called for this new series, all this new stuff. So CBS gets paid one way or another. This whole "they won't let us do things" is kind of it's really the production company's way of trying to keep more of the money, so that when they make changes, it makes it easier for them to take more of the money when it comes back to them when you buy merchandising related to said program, whether it be books, toys, t-shirts, all of it. So the changes that were instituted, especially ones that directly contradict episodes, are basically being done on purpose, so that Secret Hideout can try to keep more money. Thus, yeah.
And I honestly haven't seen a whole lot of merchandising for the new series except for the Star Trek books.
Yeah, there isn't very much.
And the books are vastly superior to whatever, Discovery's doing. Considering how bad Discovery is.
I will say this. I have made it a point not to buy any of the books since they started doing that. Since Pocket ended the storyline that they had going for years. Those biographies that they're putting out of all the Star Trek captains are being written with Discovery in mind. Discovery, Picard, and all that stuff. Meaning that they are also rewriting the biographies for Kirk and Spock to make them fit within what they're doing with current versions and sensibilities of Star Trek. So, if you really, really, really want to read Star Trek and have fun with Star Trek, you'd be better off just going to the James Blish books, or at least buying any of the Star Trek books published before 2017. There you go.
Read all the Peter David New Frontier books.
If you're looking for something new, say it again, John. Say it again.
Peter David New Frontier. Mackenzie Calhoun, probably the best captain that's never been on a series of any kind.
See, I would have thought if you were really angling to do something, that would be your next original series, is to just do New Frontier. Have Mackenzie Calhoun show up, but I think Mackenzie Calhoun and his entire crew, along with Maria Jade, are the best characters for their respective IP that have never really been seen in live action.
Well, there's one character in there that's seen live action. His first officer. Remember?
Yes. Best
She's
of both
in.
worlds.
Yep.
Yeah. But even then, yeah, I will say that she is good. Look, trust us on this one. Go out, get the first book in the series, read it, let John and I know what you think. I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it a lot. It's good stuff. Star Trek, the way it should be.
Yeah.
Let's see. Gap After Dark. Is that Gene Roddenberry calling you? Could be his son. You never know.
Yeah.
Rod's a good guy. Sorry. Out of Trolling the Dead, add Harlan Ellison to the big three of science fiction writers. I'll tell you this much. I miss Harlan Ellison. I miss the fact that he was one of the most outspoken people, period. It is probably, for everybody working on current Star Trek, you are lucky Harlan Ellison isn't around right now, because he would make it his life's purpose to roast
eviscerate you.
Every single one of you guys.
Yep.
I mean, he would make it his life's purpose to make you very uncomfortable. And for a lot of you on Twitter and other things, if you think you had it bad with people who don't like what you're doing, Harlan would have...
I believe the word you're looking for is evisceration.
Well, he would have used a lot of $20 words and made you pay for it.
Yep.
Whew. I would have paid good money to see that one. Anyway, let's see.
Stick Kurtzman and Harlan Ellison in a room together and put it on pay-per-view.
Oh.
And Harlan wouldn't even have to touch him.
Nope. He'd have
Kurtzman, Carson would be on the floor crying within minutes.
Yep.
Do you remember what happened on Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah.
When Hannibal just talked to his the inmate beside his cell, just talk.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Let's see. Dragon Bricks. STD was so bad it could not maintain its own continuity within episodes in its first season. Forget continuity with the rest of Star Trek. Yeah, well, STD also would not have existed if not for Netflix. Netflix bankrolled the first 2 seasons of that show. So when Netflix, and you Google this, you can look it up because they were the ones doing this. When Netflix started dropping a dime on what the ratings were for STD as far as outside the continental United States, that was eye-opening, and I'm sure CBS didn't like it. I think we've reached the halfway point, everybody.
It's time to pay the sponsors.
Hi guys, this is Gary from Pop Culture Minefield here on KGRA, and we're leaving for our first break. I hope we survive.
A birthday without her mom, an anniversary without her husband, her wedding day without her dad. These are the days when military families feel it most of all. The loss of their soldier, their sailor, their airman, their Marine, their Coast Guardsman. Families never forget their loved ones lost to war or illness or suicide. Families never forget, and neither do we. We are TAPS, the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. We provide resources, support, and comfort to heal the hearts and meet the needs of grieving military families, all at no cost to them. Your generosity can make an enormous difference in the lives of the families of our fallen military heroes. Our military families need to know they are not alone and they are not forgotten. Show them your support at taps.org.
Important question facing humanity. Won't you join us?
Hey members, the new KGRA DB app is now available on iOS and Android devices. Gain on-demand access to any KGRA DB programming. Download any show directly to your mobile device to listen or watch on the go. Go to the App Store and search KGRA DB.
Oh wow, we survived! Welcome back from the commercial break. Now for some more Pop Culture Minefield on KGRA.
Oh, thank goodness we survived.
Yeah, we did. I keep wondering every time that happens. Okay. Let's get back to the list here first. About James Blish, who was number 4 on our list. The thing about James Blish is that he was also one of the founders of genre science fiction. He was a member of the Futurans and followed many years of writing. He was also one of the founders of the Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers of America, the SFWA, which is headquartered in Kansas City, Missouri.
Yep.
Which, to tie into our earlier news, was also the birthplace of Mr. Burt Baccarat. Yeah. Wow, Kansas City comes in again. Also, about Asimov. Asimov himself was a outspoken supporter of cybernetics, and he was also the creator of the 3 laws of robotics.
Yep.
Which were intended to protect humans from androids or robots.
And please don't judge his robot books by that I, Robot movie.
That's a bad adaptation.
Yeah, because it wasn't even an adaptation of I, Robot. It was an adaptation of the 3rd book.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody really, really needs to properly adapt that. And I would have hoped, and again, I'm looking right at Amazon here. You guys have already just basically burned $1 billion on a show that nobody is really watching. Could you spare some side change here and actually, make a movie or a series based on the works of Asimov that people really want to watch, and do something really kind of cool and kind of out there? Actually, just follow the books this time.
Well, I mean, there is that very bad adaptation of Foundation on Apple.
I was trying to forget that one.
Yeah, but what people don't know is the Foundation series and iRobot series all take place in the same world.
Yes,
it's all this interconnected timeline.
Yeah, it does connect. So, just an idea, and something tells me you won't even have to spend $1 billion to make it work. Unless you just want to spend a lot of extra cash, and something like bringing iRobot to life probably will cost you a couple million. So, for the other, I don't know, 800-900 million, if you just wanted to find somebody to give that to, I'll take the hit. I'll take the money. So just a thought.
Keith would be sure to share it around.
I would. I really would. Let's see. And about Asimov and the laws of robotics. As stated in Data Lore, he did in fact, Asimov himself coined the term positronic brain. So, for those that are not familiar with the 3 laws, these are a set of rules that were introduced in a short story called Runaround that Asimov came up with and published in 1942. And the first law is a robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. The second law, a robot must obey the orders given it by human beings except where such orders would conflict with the first law. And then the third law, a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well done. And one of my favorite plot points from a particular episode of Star Trek that Kirk would often use against evil robots. Asimov was definitely one of the big names, and having read a few of his books, even a few of his mysteries, a lot of people know that he wrote mysteries too. He's really good at it. He's just a guy that just loved writing, and he loved science fiction. Do you have any favorite books beyond Foundation from Asimov? iRobot?
Well, I mean, the Foundation's probably my favorite series of his.
True.
I like it better than I like iRobot because you know me, I'm into the more space opera aspect of science fiction.
Yeah. Well, it was definitely one of my favorite too. And again, I wish the Foundation television series would be more like the book. You know,
Yeah,
it would be a
probably
lot
read
of
it.
fun to watch.
Probably read the whole series 3 times. Wow. And well, I first read it all in high school. And I've also read all the associate books written by other people.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of those out there too.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. There's just. Again, if you haven't read any of this stuff, I envy you. You know, you should go out and try some of this stuff. You know, it's the works of Larry Niven and Isaac Asimov, and really all of the people on this list. And James Blish definitely should be checked out for any number of reasons. Not the least of which is they were all really good at what they were doing. Let's see, Shanatsky. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Okay, good one, Shanatsky. Good one. Let's see. The Futurians, they were the original sci-fi communist ideologues. I can't argue too much there. Those.
Well, communism is a fantasy concept that'll never work in application. So that makes sense.
Retro Nerd Girl.
Well, not that much sense, because the technology that we have seen in science fiction can be achieved, unlike communism.
Yeah.
Good points. Retro Nerd Girl, Harlan was spicy. That's a statement.
Yeah.
If you made his bad side, that was an understatement. Okay.
The man did have a bit of a temper.
Yeah, but he was very, very articulate.
Oh, yeah.
Which made it even worse. Because he knew several ways to humiliate you, make you feel bad. I mean, again, he's the kind of guy that would use $20 words, $50 words, $100 words, and make you pay for it. Ooh.
How about this?
Would have been nice if they adopted the mule time period. Refresh my memory. What is that?
The mule is a character of one of the Asimov of the Foundation series.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Alex Moore, let me ask you, what do you think of the Foundation series? You know.
Well, obviously he's read them if he knows about the mule.
Yeah, but he could actually like the show. You never know.
Yeah.
The real ending of Star Trek V, maybe God's in here. Me, James T. Kirk. You're in rare form today, Shinatsky. Rare form. Okay. Well, we're going to continue our countdown. We've already gone through 5, Larry Niven. 4, James Blish. 3, Isaac Asimov. We now make it down to number 2. Robert Meyer Burnett. Look, let me just say this. I think the world of Robert Meyer Burnett. I like the guy a lot. Filmmaker, DVD producer, online film pundit, YouTuber. He's done it all, and he's just a really cool guy. And as I've said before many times, he's my other twin. So the guy is just really good at what he does, and he obviously is doing well enough to be able to afford all of the figures and stuff that he's able to buy. You can check out his YouTube channel at the Burnett Work. And definitely check out his show, Robservations, where you get pure Robert Meyer Burnett. You get his thoughts, and he loves to read everybody's letters. So if you have something to say that's intelligent and entertaining, chances are he'll probably read it on his show. Let me say this, though. Especially with Robert Meyer Burnett, he's one of these people that I am really surprised that nobody has ever really hired him to work on any of the Star Trek shows. He knows his stuff. This is a guy who is pretty much one of the best resources of all things Star Trek that are working in the biz today. And the fact that nobody's ever really tapped this guy to help them bring the show to life is one of those, well, I was going to say a weird mystery, but then I began to think of the people currently working on Star Trek.
Yeah, they don't want to make proper Star Trek. They want to make their own bastardization of what Star Trek is.
Yeah.
So it fits their twisted ideals.
Ladies and gentlemen, John has done it again. And that's why he's on the show. Now, recently, Robert Meyer Burnett's been getting some flack because he seems to he's somehow been able to watch the upcoming season of Picard, season 3. And he's coming out to say that he thinks it's very good. And people who have not seen it have been giving him a hard time, mainly based on the fact that seasons 1 and 2 weren't good. And it's something that Robert Meyer Burnett himself has agreed with. But he's telling everyone, you know, this season is different. So I'm kind of curious now. You know, my thing is this. I think Robert Meyer Burnett, with me, has earned. He's earned
benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, that's what I would go with. The benefit of the doubt when it comes to this. I am willing to give season 3 a look. And as he has said, at least just check the first episode. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to check it out. And, you know, if it's bad, then I can always just never watch it again.
Yeah.
But, John, you and Martin, are you guys going to try to check it out, or?
Yeah, I'll take that hit. I'll watch Picard. I watched all the other Picard. Just at this point, it becomes hate watching. But if RMB says it's good, then I'm willing to give it a try for legitimate reasons, not just let's see how bad this train wreck is.
You sat through every episode of season 1
and
then
2.
Went back and, oh gosh, dude.
And I did the same thing for Discovery.
Man,
Oh,
I could only do it with Discovery. I just watch the first season out of the commitment that I had already started it.
But
But
I
man,
would like to point out, even though I own Paramount, I didn't give them any clicks.
At least
They don't have any numbers from me.
man, I could not get past beyond episode 4 of Picard. The first 5 minutes of episode 4 of Picard.
Yeah, that was stupid en masse. Ooh. Look, John. Next time we meet up, I'm buying you a beer, because dang.
So
dude.
you really want me to throw up?
Chad, John deserves our love and support.
And Zach's, yes, he is. Let's see. Hold on. We've been getting a lot of. Let's go back up to Dragon Bricks. Bad Robot will never hire RMB. He knows more about Star Trek than the current Star Trek writer room. He would make them look so bad. That's not that hard.
They don't need any help to look bad.
I could make them look bad.
Look, whatever you're, I would tell CBS, whatever you're paying Kurtzman, I'll take a third of it. And if you give me the ability to fix Star Trek, I'll take 1/3 of whatever you're paying him, and I'll do it.
I'll take 1/10 as long as you put me in creative control. Because that's still $1 million.
At least.
So.
At least. Whew.
Yeah, I'd be like, all this crap, out of here. All you writers, you're fired. Please clean out your desk as soon as possible. These nice gentlemen will escort you to the front door.
Oh, you're going all Zaslav. You're reading the Zaslav book. It's like, okay, what's next?
Yeah, now what are we going to do? Well, we're going to do DS9 Part 2 and do the future, do 20 years after DS9 and how the Cardassian War has changed the Federation.
Wow. Wow.
And the Dominion War.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Hold on, the chat is just... Okay, Retro Nerd Girl right after Dragon Bricks. Let's see.
Here.
Many of the creators have never really loved Trek, but are trying to fix it with their... Fix it. Yeah, well... Again, it's not working as far as they're concerned, and neither is some of them. So... Oh, wow. But Retro Nerd Girl has decided to, looks like she's saying she'll watch season 3 also.
Yep.
Wow. Wow. Oh, geez. Chinatsky?
No.
Oh, wow.
Well,
okay.
I mean, he kinda has a point.
Okay. I may joke and call myself a masochist, but I'm not really. I just have a high bad show tolerance. And once I start something, I've got to watch the whole thing.
Oh.
It's got to be really, 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 really mind and soul crushingly bad to me for me to stop it.
Like Picard.
Picard was close. I will admit, I almost didn't finish Picard.
Hey, Chinatsky has something to say. Oh, wow. Okay. Hey, look. Oh, John. Yeah, yeah. We'll go out for some kind of a drink. So, Picard Season 3 brought to you by Bad Dragon. Monkey Jeebus. What if Paramount showed R&B a different cut of Picard and fooled him?
Oh, that would be cost ineffective.
Yes, I agree.
That's just the kind of money they would waste, though.
You know what, though? R&B has already stated that he has already seen Picard Season 3, I think, about 4 or 5 times all the way through. So if they've decided to just send him an altered version of it, that's a long way to go, you know?
Dave Cullen has seen it too, and he agrees with Roger Burnett.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Dave Cullen, I respect him. If Dave Cullen can sit through it and seem to enjoy it, then, you know. And again, really, for those of us that haven't been able to see it, really just first episode. If you're not liking it, unless you're John, if you're not liking it, you can always just bail. John's committed.
Yeah, that's 1 week to Picard.
The best solution in all this is that everybody that has seen it says you can skip the first 2 seasons. There are no consequential to this.
Destiny Captain, on your previous comment, I've not seen the video about Arthur C. Clarke. I will definitely check it out once this stream is over. Let's see. What he found out about Clarke is very unfortunate. Okay, I'll definitely have to watch that. Shanadsky.
Oh, Shinatsky, our friendship is on a thread. Do not mess with Mass Effect in my face.
Maybe you could, if he would have said Mass Effect Andromeda the Next Generation.
Okay. That I would buy for $1.
Oh, and Dragon Bricks. I think you're into something. That'd be a waste of time and money to cut and recut the season just to fool some reviewers. Yeah.
Not if they wanted the good buzz because they've been getting horribly savaged.
This is what Destiny Captain was referring to, apparently.
Okay.
Jeez, man.
Okay, that's.
I'd have to see the receipts on that first.
Yeah. Well,
it's been so long that.
Okay.
Well, a little, yes, but badly.
Yeah, that was a bad off. Then again, expecting them to do something good. I have to give props to Midnight's Edge for everything that they did in following all of the drama and giving us exactly how the first season of STD came about. And again, I'm still surprised. Nobody connected to CBS didn't figure that one out. STD. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
Nobody. I'd even made it past... I mean... marketing. See, I feel like going off like John. I'd just fire everybody in the marketing department. It's like, none of you guys caught that. You're out. You guys are gone. Oh, well. Anyway, well, let's go to the next name that we have. We're going to go to number 1 on the list.
It's going to be a surprise to a lot of people.
I will say, again, this has been quite a list to put together of the.
It's Chuck Wetty. Right?
Excuse me.
No.
Top 5 Star Trek media pros that have never worked on the series or films. Okay, and number 5 we had Larry Niven. Number 4 we had James Blish. Number 3 we had Isaac Asimov. Number 2, the great Robert Meyer Burnett. And number 1 on this list, and again, if you're going to hate somebody, hate me because I put the list together. Number 1, Joseph Michael Straczynski.
Ta-da!
Yeah. Hugo, Saturn, Bradbury, Eisner, Eagle, GLAAD, and Ink Pot Award winner. Filmmaker, television writer, producer, showrunner, and comic book writer.
Yep.
He's the founder of Synthetic Worlds Limited and Studio JMS, and is best known as the creator of the science fiction television series Babylon 5 and its spin-off Crusade. Wow. He is the executor of the estate of Harlan Ellison. He and Ellison became friends while working on Babylon 5. Straczynski has written for, now get this, kids, he has written for He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. He is the co-creator of She-Ra, Princess of Power, the critically acclaimed CBS revival of The Twilight Zone he wrote for, Real Ghostbusters, the groundbreaking Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future, which got a positive review from Siskel and Ebert, one of those rare instances where they actually reviewed a television series. He was also a writer for Jake and the Fat Man, Murder, She Wrote, Walker, Texas Ranger, and of course, Babylon 5, Crusade, Jeremiah, and Sense8.
Murder, She Wrote, otherwise known as Jessica Lange, serial killer. Or Jessica Fletcher.
Theory. Jessica Fletcher, serial. Yeah, I've heard that theory before. Interesting. Let's see. Interesting fact. In 2004, Straczynski was approached by Paramount Studios to become a producer of Star Trek Enterprise. He declined, believing that he would not be allowed to take the show in the direction he felt it should go. He did write a treatment for a new Star Trek series with friend Bryce Zabel, who was the co-creator or creator and showrunner of the NBC series Dark Skies. Wow. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Lost opportunities.
Yeah.
Actually, Dragon Bricks, I think he was free to work on anything he wanted. You know,
Yeah.
The thing that you have to understand about Straczynski is that he definitely was a fan of Star Trek. Especially, Star Trek. You can tell by the way he put Babylon 5 together. This definitely would have been a major thing had he been allowed to take over Enterprise. But I think the other reason why I don't think he could have, I think he was right. I don't think Paramount was prepared to allow him to do everything that needed to be done in order to fix that show. The entire concept was just not well thought out. And I've always believed that. I enjoy everybody in the cast. The entire cast is great. But I think they were kind of wasted on a show that needed to be more like The Expanse. That's how far they needed to go with Enterprise. It needed to be more like The Expanse if you were going to do that. And they didn't do that. They sort of... I'm trying not to be harsh about this, but Enterprise is really the kind of show that one would think you could easily put together after making Star Trek years. If you've made Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager. The thing is, though, it has too much of that sensibility about it. If you're going to do a prequel series set almost 100 years before the events of the show that we know, you really have to go backwards with your technology and everything else. And a show like The Expanse showed you the kind of things and was still able to be very entertaining. I think Straczynski could have done that, because that's kind of what he did with Babylon 5 and his miniseries called In the Beginning, which set up to show you a kind of a history of everything that happened leading up to Babylon 5. I agree with him. I don't think they would have allowed him to do everything necessary to fix it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, there's no way they would have gave him complete creative control like that. That's hard for them producers to give up.
Yeah.
And
okay, Shanadsky, here's the thing. Initially, Seth Farland's name did come up, except for one thing. He was actually on an episode of Enterprise.
Yep. So he's actually been involved with that actual Star Trek. So
yeah. So for the way that we have the show today, again, the top 5 media pros that have never worked on the series or films, I couldn't use Seth MacFarlane. So good guess though. Good guess.
Yeah. He would have been perfect except for that one little fact.
Yeah. Let's see. Here's the other thing, though. I still think J. Michael Straczynski is one of the most unheralded talents for what he's able to do in currently that's still working.
Yeah.
That list of everything that he's done is varied. This is a guy that really knows what he's doing. And I will say this. I know that I don't think you can actually... I don't think they're printing his book on screenwriting anymore. So you'll have to find it used. It is worth your time to buy that book, because his book on screenwriting covers pretty much everything. And in it, he, in order to teach you different things, he'll intercut it with stories about working on Murder, She Wrote, MASH. He does a one of the things that he gives you a test of is he writes kind of like a script, a pitch script for an episode of MASH that he's able to put together in the book as you're reading it. But I mean, he talks about screenwriting. He talks about writing for television. I mean, the chapters in there divide everything up so that he gives you all of it. So it's not just screenwriting. He covers television. He covers radio. He covers commercial. I mean, all of it in one book. Worth your time to find that book and read it. And he's also written his biography also. Both of them, you should buy those and read those. And for those of you who love Easter eggs, he not only worked on the screenplay for the first Thor movie, he's in the film.
Yep.
So see if you can find J. Michael Straczynski in the film. And it's fully him on the screen. So I mean, that's really cool. But yeah, he. Let me at least say this too. I have read the pitch that he and Bryce Zweibel put together for Star Trek. And I think we're going to try to put that somewhere, either online or something. That way you guys can, because the actual site is still active. You can go right to it and read it for yourself. And consider this would have been 2004, 2005, around that time, that if Paramount had decided to go that direction with guys, what a new Star Trek would be like. What I read was cool. I had no problems with it. Maybe some of you might.
I put a link to JMS's script writing book on Amazon.
Oh, cool. Thank you very much.
You can get it for $17.99 in hardcover, or and that's new. They've only got one left.
There's a reason for that, Here, hold on.
Oh,
hold on.
there's an update to it that's you can't get new. That you can only get used in paperback, but I don't see why this one wouldn't be bad. It came in '96, but I mean, how much has screenwriting really changed in a few years? As far as the basics.
Okay. Here's the link to the column by Bryce Zabel. You can for yourself and check it out. Again, one of those projects that, man, what could have been. Especially, Mr. Zabel himself, also a Star Trek fan.
Yeah, it's not. That link isn't coming up.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Hold on.
It just goes to the
Wayback Machine.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, it's going to For What It's Worth. Do you have that?
No.
You don't?
Okay. It just goes straight back to the Wayback Machine.
Okay, hold on. I will fix it.
Well, in the meantime.
There you go. There's the link.
Okay.
Yep, that works.
Okay. Now let me show you. I'll share screen on this one. Now, you'll notice it'll come up on here. And if you go down, I'm sorry, too much. All you need to do is go down to where it says Star Trek Reboot right here. Okay? Tells the whole story about how they put it together. And then right down here, they have it as a PDF, and you can download the entire pitch and check it out at your leisure.
Cool. That works.
But as he says in that, I mean, that was, even when he put that up there, I mean, both of them had moved on. So, you know.
Yeah.
Although this was a few years ago that he posted all of this. So after Kurtzman Trek, I'm pretty sure, like a lot of Star Trek fans, he's like, oh, they went with that and they could have gone with this.
Yep, and the Wayback Machine does have the PDF.
Okay.
I just verified. And downloaded it.
So yeah, now you guys have something to read.
Yeah.
Don't ever say
You got
we didn't
homework.
give you anything.
You got homework.
You got homework. And for the record, I really wouldn't wish any of you to seek out, download, and read the script for J.J. Abrams' Sand Flyby, because you'll want to claw your own eyes out. Oh, geez, that is bad. Oh, anybody that look, you read that, and if you still want to complain about Man of Steel,
Yeah. I try and avoid anything that says J.J. Abrams on it. Just as a general rule for my health and sanity.
there's bad, and then there's Superman Flyby bad. And you got people that are like, well, he and Ta-Nehisi Coates are going to... No, they're not going to... No. If you happen to find Superman Flyby and you read that entire thing, no. Just...
Yeah, but he's pretty much done it at DC, though. At Warner.
They're still going to let him do it. I mean, they're in the middle of... Yeah, it's going to be Elseworlds, but they're still going to do this. And it's just like, oh, geez. You know.
I think Zaslav will cut it off before it gets too far. They'll let him do the treatment and stuff because that's part of the deal, but they'll turn it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Dragon. Oh, Destiny Captain. Excuse me. Yeah, Brad Wright also would have made a very good showrunner. But again, almost anybody that you could think of would have been a way better showrunner than Alex Kurtzman. But, you know, CBS tried to be slick about the whole thing. So
I can come up with someone worse than Alex Kurtzman. Ruin Johnson.
Oh, man. Oh. You know what? Again, the guy has his own way about things. I've never met the gentleman. I'm pretty sure he's probably a nice guy, but he can never be allowed to be around Star Wars ever again. There are just certain people.
He's on my list of people. If his name's in it, I'm going to avoid it.
Oh, wow. Damian Lindell. You know what? Again, look. There's a reason why J.J. Abrams seems to be having a hard time in Hollywood right now. You know? Yeah. He and his people are having a real bad time of it. People are they're used to the tricks. They're used to the games now. And again, I hate to be that guy, but it just seems to be something that people who worked for Bad Robot all seem to be on this kick of wanting to deconstruct all of the characters that they have. And I hate to say it because I know some of you in this room like this movie, but Matt Reeves is one of his people.
Yep.
David Lindelof, Alex Kurtzman, Matt Reeves. All of those people come from Bad Robot. They're all JJ people.
Unlike the Roger Corman Film School, which actually produced talent, J.J. Abrams Film School just produces hacks.
I just, again, that film, man, the writing is just not good. It's just not good. It's hard for me to sit through that film. It's a stunning achievement in the look of a movie. And all the actors commit to it, which is great, because that's why they're all good. You know, Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, Paul Dano, Colin Farrell, Jeffrey Wright, Andy Serkis, everybody's great. But oh my gosh, is that script bad? It's a bad script. It needed to be rewritten several times.
Yeah. The only thing I've gone back and rewatched from the Batman since I saw it in the theater was the Batmobile scene.
Yeah, and you really, really love that. I don't care for it, but
I love that new Batmobile.
And more power to you. You know, that's a hard watch. So, yeah. I mean, again, there's ways to take a property and update it to make it more exciting or at least palatable. I did not care for Matt Reeves' version of Batman. Okay? That's just the way it is. But
yeah, Bat Sparkles was not exactly palatable.
Well, even if Matt Reeves had gotten the actor that he wanted to play Batman, I think I still would have had problems with the movie.
Yeah, the script is not well done. They should have stuck with the Ben Affleck, because I wanted to see the freaking raid in Arkham Asylum.
Yeah. Anyway, Nicholas Hoult is who Matt Reeves wanted for the Batman. And personally, I think Nicholas Hoult would have made in my opinion, a better Bruce Wayne and a better Batman.
Yeah. Certainly, definitely better than Robert Pattinson did. Emo Bats.
Yeah. Just that whole...
Well, not so much Emo Bats as Emo Bruce Wayne. It was the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bruce Wayne's supposed to have this playboy persona, and he's moping about the Wayne Manor like his parents died yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could have worked if he only behaved like that when in private. But he did it on public. It doesn't, and it doesn't work.
Well, again, it's just That was not a very good readaptation of the character.
Nope.
If you're going to take a property that's, kind of known and try to find something new to do with it, a good example of doing it right would be the Netflix version of Lost in Space.
Well, I have my takes on.
Yes.
I don't think we have enough time for me to rant about it. But the worst thing was the ending.
Yeah.
They were kind of forced. They kind of forced into that, though.
The thing of it's love. The solution is love.
Oh, that part, yeah.
Off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I admit I was initially hesitant because they gender swapped Dr. Smith.
Oh, that wasn't that
she
bad.
Worked.
Yes,
she worked. I was like, okay, I'm cool with that.
And it was nice, a nice touch that the real Dr. Smith was Billy Mommy, who was Will Robinson.
Yeah.
That was a nice touch.
Yeah. Nice Easter egg.
Well, I mean, it made up for the fact that, he wasn't in the 96 film.
Yeah. She should have been, but
it would have been a nice touch to have him in that film.
Yeah. At least we has Don West.
Oh, there's a lot.
And the three girls.
Yes. You would have had all of the living cast members. Basically, only one person at that point had died from the cast.
Yeah.
Everybody else was invited into the film.
No, I wasn't Guy dead, but at the moment, I think.
Yeah, only one person. Only one person had died.
Jonathan Harris was alive?
Yes.
Yeah, he died in I think 97 or 98.
He died almost a year to 2 years after the film came out. But Jonathan Harris was originally asked to be in the film. And he... the... whatchamacallit? The scene where Smith has already completed his mission and he's inside the ductwork of the ship. And he turns on the communicator to his boss.
So
Jonathan Harris was to play the boss.
Nice. That would have been so nice.
Yep.
And he turned it down.
Yeah, I still think that movie has the best Lost in Space theme.
Oh yeah,
I like it. I like the movie. It would have been great if they had done another.
Yeah.
It was a good cast that seemed to have chemistry. I liked their version of the robot in that film. But I also like this version.
Oh yeah, this version I liked what they did. They actually, the robot was more than just a robot.
Yeah.
It was a whole alien species that had gotten,
and they went ahead and rewrote. They went ahead and rewrote a few of the whereas the film had translated the television series into a movie. This adjusted the story a little bit to basically give Maureen Robinson more of a character. And again, while there are people that would find problems with it, I thought it was logical. Because when you think about it, everybody on that ship had to have a purpose.
Yep.
You know, you can't just do what they did back in the 60s and say, we're just going to invite this person because, you know. And I know that they had also adjusted her character for the film. But I think it even made more sense, the kind of adjustment that they have for her in the Netflix series.
Wait. In the original series, she was a doctor. And in the movie, I just started rewatching it recently. Maureen was a doctor. John obviously was a doctor. In the pilot, Don was a doctor. Then for the show, they demoted him to just
pilot or military
no.
officer, really.
Yeah, and both parents were doctors on different areas. John was an astrophysics, and she was a biology doctor. And we are running out of time, my friends.
Yes.
Oh, we'll have to talk about this on another.
Oh,
episode.
yes, please! I love this subject.
We could do a rebooted classic series and examine the differences between the original and the reboot. Battlestar Galactica. This there's
also we'll even do it with stuff like My Favorite Martian.
Yeah.
Bewitched. Wasted opportunity. That Bewitched movie. Good cast, but the script.
Yeah. But unfortunately, we've run out of time. It's time to say goodbye.
It's definitely time to say goodbye. Do I have time enough to at least mention everybody's name? Or
I don't think so.
I think we're done.
Okay. Well, look. First and foremost, let's say thank you to everybody that tuned in for today's episode. I'm glad everybody seems to have enjoyed it. Please, please, please let us know. Write to us. Contact us. KGRA, Pop Culture Minefield. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram and other places. So for John, Martine, and myself, it has been a real pleasure. Morning Coffee with Keith has ended. Take us out.